Hi everyone, welcome to Glitters and Flakies. If you are new to my channel, welcome. This is Debbie. I make live swatch and review videos about newly launching indie nail polish collections and indie products every week. Today I am here to share with you Bee's Knees Lacquer's upcoming collection inspired by the novel A Court of Silver Flames. This is only the part 1 of the collection, as the second half will drop in May. This collection will be launching on 23rd of April at noon Eastern Standard Time. There are 8 different polishes in this collection with various different finishes, starting from flakes to shimmers to multichromes. I have changed my swatching pattern a bit, so from now onwards I will do a live swatch on 2 of my fingers, one with a clear base coat and one with a VNL blurring base coat, and hopefully that will help you determine how much opacity you can achieve with a blurring base coat compared to a clear base coat. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started with the swatches. First up I have is Keep Reaching Out Your Hand, which is described as a pale grey polish with glowy red shimmer and hollow flakes. As you can see, I have applied a clear base coat on my middle finger and a VNL blurring base coat on my ring finger. So I'm starting with the first coat of Keep Reaching Out Your Hand. The first coat is pretty sheer with a clear base coat. I could still see my nail line visible. Let's see how it looks like on my ring finger, where I have one coat of VNL blurring base coat already, and as you see that it's definitely more opaque than my middle finger with just one coat. We'll see how the second coat applies. We'll start with the middle finger, and it's definitely giving me more opacity with more layers, even with a clear base coat, but I'm sure that I'll achieve almost full opacity on my ring finger where I have the blurring base coat on. And as you see, yep, it's almost fully opaque on my ring finger. So you can still wear a clear base coat. It will still give you enough coverage. If you wear like 2 or 3 coats of this polish, you don't need a VNL blurring base coat with this one. My swatches show 2 coats of Keep Reaching Out Your Hand and a glossy top coat. The next polish I have is called Valkyries, which is described as a light aqua with orange to green shimmer. I'm starting with a clear base coat on my middle finger and a VNL blurring base coat on my ring finger. And we are going ahead with the first coat. As you can see that this polish is more on the sheer side, and my nail line is clearly visible with one coat and a clear base coat. We'll see how it goes on my ring finger. It's still not very opaque with one coat. I'll definitely need another coat to achieve enough coverage. Alright, so we are going with the second coat here, and as you can see that on my middle finger where I have a clear base coat on, it's still not enough opaque for me with 2 coats. And on my ring finger with the blurring base coat on, I'm almost reaching there as far as coverage is concerned with 2 coats. we are going with the third coat just to see if we can achieve the expected coverage with 3 coats of it. But no, this polish will be sheer if you wear a clear base coat, and if you prefer a more opaque look, then you will need a VNL blurring base coat underneath. Nonetheless, I love this polish. The light aqua base is very soft and pretty and perfect for spring, and the orange to green shimmer glows beautifully in that base. My swatches show 3 coats of Valkyries and a glossy top coat. Valkyries will be retailed for $12. Now the third polish from this collection is called the Mask, and this is one of my top favorites from this collection. It's described as a deep cool tone violet with subtle gold shimmer that abruptly shifts sapphire and glowing emerald. I'm again starting with a clear base coat on my middle finger and a blurring base coat on my ring finger, though I don't think that I would require a blurring base coat for this polish. It seems pretty opaque to me. As you can see, after applying the first coat on my middle finger on the clear base coat, it's almost opaque with just one coat, right? So we don't require a blurring base coat definitely for this polish. Though it looks like almost opaque with just one coat, we will still go with a second coat because I want to see how much depth it gives me with more layers. So we are going with a second coat here, and you can see, yes, the base deepens beautifully with multiple layers. And you can see the shift from blue to purple to green to emerald more prominently after applying the second coat. This polish is stunning. As I am moving my fingers in this clip, you can see how it shifts beautifully from violet to gold, then shifts abruptly to emerald and sapphire. The mask will be retailed for $13. The fourth polish is called the Harp, which is described as a rich mid-toned blue with shimmer that shifts from white gold to emerald to bright blue. As always, I'm starting with a clear base coat on my middle finger and a blurring base coat on my ring finger, and we are going with the first coat. After first coat on the clear base coat, it's not fully opaque yet. I could still see some nail line visible, and we will go with the first coat on my ring finger now. And coverage wise, yeah, it's almost there. Like, I just applied one coat and you could see like the nail line is not visible at all. We'll go with the second coat now, and yes, with the second coat on a clear base coat, it's fully opaque. So you won't need a blurring base coat with this polish. You could achieve enough opacity with 2 coats on a clear base coat. This polish is insanely gorgeous. You could see it shifting from gold to purple to emerald to blue from various different angles easily. My swatches show 2 coats of the Harp and a glossy top coat. The Harp will be retailed for $13. You might wonder how it compares with the mask, because both seem to be in a similar color category. So here I am showing a comparison picture between the mask and the Harp, and as you can see, they are distinctly different from each other. The 5th polish is a fun one called the Crown. This is described as the burgundy sister to the mask and the Harp, and this shifts antique gold to green to blue with hints of purple at the extremes. And coverage wise also, this one is very similar to the previous 2, the mask and the Harp. Though I'm showing a comparison between a clear base coat and a blurring base coat here, you won't actually need a blurring base coat for these 3 polishes. They are good to go with just 2 coats on a clear base coat, and they'll cover your nail line completely without the need of a blurring base coat. My swatches show 2 coats of the Crown and a glossy top coat. The Crown will be retailed for $13. Those were all the shimmer polishes from this collection. The next 3 polish will be jelly based flakies. Number 6 polish from this collection is called Like Calls to Like, which is described as a bright turquoise with glowy green to blue iridescent flakes. These polishes are going to be more on the sheerer side, so it will be interesting to see if a VNL blurring base coat could give us more coverage. After the first coat, you could see that my ring finger is already more opaque than my middle finger. Let's see how it looks like after the second coat. So even after second coat, my nail line is visible on my middle finger, but coverage wise it's almost there on my ring finger. I think I would still need a third coat to hide my nail line completely. So after the third coat, I'm convinced that you can achieve enough coverage with this polish if you use a VNL blurring base coat underneath. If you like a more sheer look, you don't need to wear a blurring base coat. A clear base coat looks beautiful too. And if you have shorter nails than me, then you could probably achieve full coverage with even 2 coats over a blurring base coat. My swatches show 3 coats of Like Calls to Like and a glossy top coat. Like Calls to Like will be retailed for $12.50. The 7th polish of this collection is called Kelpie, which is described as a chartreuse green with glowy red to purple iridescent flakes. This is also another jelly based formula with iridescent flakes in it. So naturally this is more on the sheer side. If you wear a clear base coat, you would be able to see your nail line even after 3 coats. But if you wear a blurring base coat, then you'll probably get full coverage after 3 coats. This color is very unique. I don't have anything similar to this in my collection. It is a very sea moss like yellowish green, and the flakes, they pop beautifully in that base color. It looks stunning with a matte top coat as well. In fact, all these flaky polishes, they look stunning with a matte top coat. I'll add swatch pics of both matte and glossy top coat and at the end of each clip. Kelpie will be retailed for $12.50. The 8th and the final polish of A Court of Silver Flames collection is called Maid. Maid is described as a periwinkle with glowy orange to gold iridescent flakes. This is my second most favorite polish from this collection after the mask. I love periwinkle colored polishes, and though I do not gravitate towards sheer polishes, but This one absolutely wins my heart. Those orange and gold iridescent flakes glow so beautifully in that periwinkle base. It's just breathtaking. I actually didn't apply a third coat, and I just stopped at the second coat because I kind of liked the sheerness and I thought that it helped those flakes pop more. But with a blurring base coat and with 3 coats on, you can probably achieve full coverage with this polish. Matte will be retailed for $12.50. So guys, those were all my swatches from Bee's Knees Lacquer's A Court of Silver Flames Part 1 collection. This collection is launching on April 23rd at noon Eastern Standard Time on the Bee's Knees Lacquer's website. I'll leave a link to the store, the names of all the 8 polishes and their individual prices in the description box down below. Let me know in the comments below which one do you like most and which are the ones that you are planning to buy. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more swatch videos like this. You can also follow me on Instagram at glitters&flakies. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.